All right, here we are. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. I got that right? It's Tuesday. Yeah. So I've made some changes to my OBS setup. Give me a second here to just do a tiny bit of housekeeping. Make sure that everything looks correct and like it's all working. Yeah. All right, I think we're good. So, we're welcoming in some of my YouTube friends again. It's been a while, I think, since you guys have had the opportunity to see a live stream. So let me catch you up. We are in the middle of this Zeta Gundam Ver.Ka. The reason that I'm building this kit and many others on live streams currently is that I was cleaning up my studio a couple months ago at this point, and I realized that my backlog shelf in my studio does not any longer fit all of the boxes. Hey Aries, good morning. So yeah, I am currently in the process of trying to build kits until my backlog fits on the shelf again. And just looking behind me, I've got, I don't know, at least 6 or 7 more to go after this. So yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a process, but I'm enjoying just snap building a whole bunch of kits and not having to spend a ton of time doing any detailing and that sort of thing. So I figured since I'm sitting here building anyway, I would stream it for you guys. So, and I was going to say that if you're watching, put something in chat because I've changed how chat looks. And we've already had somebody do that. So thanks for helping test that out for me. We'll see if we can break chat today, if anybody can post something that like messes up the layout of what's showing up over there. Yeah, it looks pretty nice, doesn't it? And with any luck, if somebody chats from over on the YouTube side, it should show up there as well. So yeah, we are building legs today. It looks like we had a really short stream Sunday evening where I finished with the waist unit. Obviously no side skirts yet. I think those are actually attached to the legs. Hey, yeah, thanks. I've been working on the setup for a while, and I think since the last time you watched a stream, I have a new camera up here above my desk. So it's a much nicer camera than we had before. And it focuses so quickly when it's in autofocus mode. So I can do things like that and hold up a close-up for you guys, and then it will focus itself right back to the right spot down here on the desk. So that is great. I may be the most picky person when it comes to like camera and audio settings. It is a Sony mirrorless camera. I forget the model number. It's like a ZVE10 or something like that. I picked it up used. I had a friend who works in a camera shop and let me know that they had something that had come in that he thought would help me out, and it's been great so far. I've only had it for a couple of weeks, I guess now. And I want to use it for shooting some YouTube videos as well. So those will be coming soon over on the YouTube channel. Still working on dialing in all the settings on the camera also. Like every time I stream, I go back and look at it and watch some of the footage and decide on a few little tweaks that I want to make to settings, and then repeat that again the next time. So eventually I will get it to a point where I'm super happy with how it looks, but it's really good now. It's getting close, I think, to the final perfect settings. So meantime, while I talk about cameras, I am trimming or cutting out parts here for, it looks like feet. And that's probably enough from that runner. I am going to build both legs and the two legs in parallel, I think, at least for a while, until the instructions show me that they're starting to differ from left to right. And at that point we might just do one and then go back and do the other. I've already forgotten which parts I need and which ones I don't. I think that's it. Alright, so real quickly, let me switch over to something here on my PC. I think that the changes that I've made to how the audio plays, the background music, I think that is actually causing you guys to hear some background notification sounds. So let me remove that. And that should take care of it. I don't know, like I'm probably not gonna get any more notifications that would have caused sounds to happen. So we won't know for sure that I've fixed the problem, but that's fine. So let's see, what is there to talk about today on this Tuesday morning? I mentioned on the last stream, the one Sunday evening, that I had been smacked in the face by a palm tree branch. That was not a fun time. And I was still not feeling so great that evening because it had happened in the afternoon. And I had a cut on my nose. Well, that is mostly healed, so there's some good news. The bad news is that when that incident happened, I had been out in my yard, like cleaning up a bunch of tree branches and things. And so I stopped doing that work. And so now I have only half of the work that I had planned to do finished, and so at some point this week, I guess some evening this week, I'm gonna have to go out there and finish trimming back the rest of the trees and hopefully not get smacked in the face again and injured anymore. Other than that, I am doing well. I hope you are as well. And I think I've already missed a part off of this E-runner that I need on both of these feet. If I grab this, then we can actually build at least the inner frame portion of both feet. It seems that my second camera has frozen up. You see that up there in the corner? Not sure why that is. That's never a problem we've had before. Let's see if I can wake it up. I did. Cool. Hello there. Yeah, it's all good now. All right, let's build these feet. I continue to be impressed by the engineering and level of detail on this kit, which I guess should not be surprising because it's a, modern Bandai Master Grade, and they've all been really good in the last couple of years. The few that we've gotten, and I wish we'd get more, but yeah, the few we've gotten have been really, really good. So there's our foot, and we have, this crazy amount of articulation, the toe bend, which is certainly needed for its transformation into Wave Rider mode. All right, and there's our second foot. And now we need some outer armor parts, right? What color are these feet? Probably red? Yeah. And we need some white parts as well, I believe. So let's grab 4. I'm just going to look ahead and see what other parts I might need off of each of these runners so that I'm not having to get them out again anytime real soon. Definitely those two, and this one as well. Looks like that's actually it for now off of the G runner. Hey there, good morning. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well today. We have moved on to working on the feet for this Zeta Gundam. And then the legs. I was thinking before I started today, it's hard for me to gauge how much of this I'm gonna get done in this one session today, because I typically have a good feel for, like a regular master grade kit, how long it's going to take me to do things like torso, arms, legs, and so on. But this build has been different because of the engineering related to the transformation and the parts being a little bit different. I think the part count overall is just slightly higher than typical. And so it's hard for me to gauge how long it's going to take to build these legs. I guess we'll see how it goes. Kay is here. Hey, thanks for the comment on that Zero Gravity Judge kit. That was a super fun build. And also, hey, thanks for accidentally, you didn't know you were doing this, but you just tested out the new chat integration for the on-screen chat with YouTube chat. So, yeah, we know it works now. That's cool. I've just updated the look and functionality of the on-screen chat. Looks like it's grabbing all of you guys' avatars correctly as well, which is nice to see. Yeah, so another thing I will have to kind of pay attention to is that I used to stream these live streams to YouTube, and I stopped doing that back in the spring of this year for a couple different reasons. One was a health-related reason with my voice, which has obviously gotten better enough that I can do this again, but the other reason was that it seemed like, from looking at like analytics and such, that you guys over on YouTube were much more interested in just the shorter form video content, you know, the edited videos, as compared to live streams. And so putting this back on YouTube, at least for now, is a bit of an experiment to see what those numbers look like and whether it makes sense to continue doing that or not. Yeah, I know, it's hard for people to find streams on YouTube. So I should probably keep that in consideration when I'm thinking about analyzing how things are doing. But I didn't want to, you know, like clutter up my channel with video content that was not as interesting or not something that people seem to be looking for, if that makes sense. All right, so yeah, and that it is true that my channel has a lot higher of a subscriber count than it did back then as well. Like it's grown pretty well over the summer. And so more people will probably see these live streams now than used to see them, for sure. Whether they're interested in tuning in, I don't know. I guess we'll see. But yeah, if you look up near the upper right corner of the screen here on stream, there are there's a follow goal for Twitch and a subscribe goal for YouTube, and they're both like getting quite close to the goals that I have set. That is, for me, something I try not to like focus on or think too much about, but it's cool to like notice that they're getting close. Yeah, maybe posting showcase videos would be good. I never really had camera equipment that I felt was good enough quality to do that justice until, like, this camera that's now pointing down over my build area is, we were just talking about it a little while ago, is new, and it's quite a lot better than what I've had before. So yeah, that's definitely a thing I could consider going forward. I actually do have a new concept for videos on the YouTube channel that I've recorded the intro for the first episode of this idea, and it's going to take me a while before I can finally release it because, well, I'll explain the concept here and then you'll understand why it might take a while. The idea is to have a video series on the channel where I take a kit that I've just snap built, so like, for example, this one, after we're done with it, and I sit down on camera and I talk about what I would like to change or modify, or how I would like to detail and paint the kit, and then I actually go and, you know, do those things. So I talk about the plan for you guys on video, and I'll edit in footage of me actually making those changes, doing the painting, doing the scribing, whatever it is. so you can hear me talk about the idea while you're actually watching me do the process. And then I'll come back at the end of the video and talk about, show the finished kit and talk about what went well, what maybe didn't, and if I would change anything if I had it to do over again. So kind of a entire build process video also showing the end result all in one video, but in a kind of different format, right? Because it's me talking about an idea and then you getting to see what happens. So right now I've recorded the intro and that segment with me talking about a kit. It's actually this kit right here, the Master Grade Hazel Custom, which was the last thing we built on stream on Twitch. And you can see there, it's not taken apart or anything yet. So I haven't actually started the work on customizing that thing yet. But when I do, I will record all of that footage and then I can edit it together into the final idea that I just explained there. So it'll probably be like at least a couple months until that can come out on the YouTube channel, if all things go well, just based on the amount of time that it takes. But I think that'll be a cool concept and something a little bit different from what I've seen other people do. I didn't want to just, kind of do the same thing over again. So while I was talking there, we got to cut out another one of these cool silver plated parts. And it sits in here under the foot, really just to give this detail on the underside of the foot, it looks like, because you're not going to see any of that once we put this together. Yeah, and really, the concept or the idea behind that series was, when I sat down and thought about it, I always do this, right? As I'm streaming a build, or even if I'm just sitting here working on a build by myself without you guys here, I always am making a list in my head and often say these things out loud that, hey, I don't like this, or I would change this, or whatever. So by the time I finish a snap build, I almost always have a fairly detailed list in my head of what I would like to change or do differently or modify on the kit. So I figured making a video series out of that would be good. All of the little silver details go on the feet here. That's interesting because I saw that the parts that were left on that runner, and I assumed that they would be higher up on the legs, or they would be part of the wing backpack unit thing. Instead, they're just here on the bottoms of the feet. So this goes in here, and this is going to be, it looks like some kind of a little hinged bit, because this part here fits down in here, and it allows a little bit of movement. Yeah, interesting. So that can, let me get this camera to focus. Come on, camera, you can do it. There we go. So that can hinge up just ever so slightly right there, which is interesting. I'm not sure why that's useful, but there it is. I'm sitting here seeing these two white parts here left on the table, and I had that momentary panicked feeling that I was supposed to have put one on the other foot already, and I missed it. but it goes on right at the end, so it's fine. I don't have to disassemble anything. It's just this kind of front of the ankle bit right here that just slides into place. I think it slides into place. Yeah, this is the correct orientation, and probably we just need to bend this down out of the way and then it'll be fine. Yeah. All right, 2 feet. Drink break. I am, by the way, drinking today this Arizona energy juice. It's very citrus juice tasting. It's okay. It's kind of overly sweet. Yeah. I think drink that one in moderation just because of how sweet it is. It apparently has some green tea or something in it as well. Yeah, it's not bad. Okay, on to whatever this is. So this is where we're going to start to get some really interesting looking internal structure, I think, for the legs, and I assume this is like the knee joint area, because it probably, if my past experience with other transforming Gunpla kits is any indication, this thing probably has those weird like double jointed style knees that can almost like bend backwards and then ratchet up so that the legs kind of go backwards and up when it's in its flight mode. That is my guess. The numbering on this D runner is laid out kind of strangely, I gotta say. Like I'm having trouble finding things, which is not usual. Like it's numbered 1 through like 22 from top left to bottom right of this top half of it, and then it flips over and there's another one that goes this way and it kind of goes backwards and up and to the left. So basically they're trying to make it hard for me to find parts, and it's somewhat working. Probably not as strange as third-party kits. You mean the numbering? Yeah, so my favorite story about numbering on a third-party kit was it on that Zero Gravity Judge? I think it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was on the Zero Gravity Judge. There was a runner that I assume when they designed the runner and you know, sent it to manufacturing, they forgot to number a couple of the parts, and so there was on the runner a couple of places where there wasn't a number next to a couple of the parts that were actually on there. And you know, I imagine at that point it was too late to like go back and remanufacture. If you've already got the runners made, you wouldn't want to go redo them. So in the instruction manual for that kit, there were a couple of spots where it said like it wanted you to get part number like 3.5 or 8.5 or something like that. That's how they chose to number them, and that denoted the part that was sitting in between parts 3 and 4 on the runner, you know, was 3.5, since it wasn't labeled at all on the runner itself. So I thought that was pretty funny, and I've never seen that before on any other kit. The hands on the judge. Yeah, the hands on the judge were those ones where like the fingers didn't really, I had to like shave back the connection points on the finger parts to get them to fit correctly into the palms of the hands. I remember that. And I don't have any problem with sagging backpack, but it may be that I added enough layers of paint that it tightened everything up. Because I do have, my judge is in a pose where I'm never going to move it again once I got it in the pose that it's in, that you've seen it in the photographs and video and stuff, because some of those joints are super tight. And I'm afraid if I move it too much, I might break some things. Hot water, interesting. That's an idea I didn't think about doing. I was just like, oh, I'm gonna modify the part. So I got my hobby knife out and I trimmed a couple little areas and sanded back one other spot and got it to work. The Master Grade Estray has a finicky shoulder part, I guess. I've learned something today. I've actually never built a Master Grade Estray. I have a perfect grade one, but no Master Grades in the collection, which is a little surprising actually now that I think about it. Alright, so I probably, with that dark gray D runner that seems like it has all of the inner frame bits for the legs, I could have like sat there for a long time just trimming parts. Like I could have cut all the parts off the runner, I think, pretty much, and sat there trimming them all. I decided to stop at this point, which is I think most of the knee joint, and that way we can actually build something. Otherwise I would have been sitting here for hours just trimming parts. I'm going a little slowly here and looking at these parts kind of a little more carefully than I normally do, just because I'm intrigued by some of the detail here, this little piping area, and how these are fitting together. That's not the right way. This is the right way. So like those three parts there could have been one part, or two I guess, but they chose to give us this extra one in between, I guess to make that little piped detail easier to paint if you wanted to paint it a different color, which is interesting. So this goes here and that one fits in there. Built a Zeta master grade years ago. Yeah, I guess it'd be interesting to compare that original Zeta master grade to this Ver.Ka. And I think, was there a version 2.0 as well of the Zeta master grade? I think this is maybe the third master grade Zeta. Yeah, so this mechanism here is definitely that weird double jointed thing we get with the knee where it can bend backwards for the transformation. Alright, the other reason I stopped with this set of pieces is because that was the end of my page of instructions, and so we'll build the other one here and then I'll turn the page and we'll see what's next. Yeah, it does feel weird to go back and build one of those older master grades. I've done that a few times, like just after having built one of the new ones, to go back and build one of the older ones, you get that sort of jarring sensation that like this is different and maybe not in the best way. these two pieces that sandwich here on the sides of the main knee joint, they actually kind of slide in underneath behind these two struts. So you have to find the right angle of the joint when you push those together so that they get in there behind, and then once they're in there, this slides over the top of them. That's a nice little touch as well. All right, turning the page and taking another small swig of the weird energy drink. Cool. All right, we've got, actually just looking here, it looks like the lower part of the leg is not complicated. It's one big piece and then the ankle armor. So it's really just this knee joint that is the kind of interesting and different bit, it looks like, on this inner frame design. All right, I'm throwing runners around, that's cool. Once again, I'm just looking ahead to figure out what other parts I need before I put this runner back in the box. So for those of you who are new or just finding the stream on YouTube, there's a schedule, sort of, now. It's nearly official, and I think I can stick to it. I've managed to find something that works around all of my other commitments, and so this time slot, Tuesday mornings for me, Eastern United States time, from about 10 till noon. Every week, there should be a stream, and then this same time slot on Thursdays as well. So every Tuesday, Thursday morning, East Coast United States time. And then, with any luck, I think I'm going to be able to do a bit of streaming most Sunday evenings as well. So that'll be the other, kind of the third time slot to look for streams, although I'm not sure that I can be quite as consistent with those. But that is the plan going forward, and for now, we're going to just be building all the kits that are in the pile sitting behind me, the backlog pile that doesn't fit on my shelf. And so there is, I'm trying to remember, let me look back there real fast. There's a, there's that Thor kit, third-party kit, the guy with the big hammer and the cape. There's a Master Grade Sananju. There's a Master Grade Char Zaku 2, the 2.0. A couple other third-party kits. I think think there's a crossbone Ver.Ka back there somewhere as well. I can't see them all because it's actually 2 stacks and one is covering the other. So that's what'll be coming up, and then once I get that backlog whittled down enough, I'll probably branch out and we'll start doing some other more complex work on the live streams, some scribing and painting and things like that. Hopefully by then I will have also had a chance to dial in all of the settings on the camera and figure out what camera angles work and stuff like that for example, seeing what's going on over at my spray booth, which is kind of over to my left around the corner. So I gotta figure out how to get a good angle with a camera over there. And I'll have to figure that out. Things like camera angles for spray booth and for scribing work and things like that. I'll have to figure those things out anyway to do the YouTube video concept that I was talking about a little while ago. And so I'll actually do that first. Before we ever see those things on stream, I will record some footage for YouTube videos of some of those activities. So that'll give me a chance to dial in those settings. So it looks like we're still building both legs. There's not a difference yet from right to left. Yeah, that is true. There's not a difference from right to left yet, and so I'm going to continue cutting all of these parts in pairs. I'm wondering if I should just get everything off of this runner, because it certainly looks like I need everything off of this runner. I mean, eventually I do. Yeah, you know what? Let's stop there for now. And then we'll do the majority of the lower, like the big parts of the lower leg. We'll do those in the next pass. Oh, I should also report that given that the current goal is to finally work through some of my backlog here, it's probably important to note that I went yesterday, I was out shopping with my wife, and we stopped by a local comic book store that I go to from time to time that has a small wall of Gunpla kits. And I didn't buy anything. I just looked and I saw one or two things that seemed interesting, and I said, wait, I'm trying to limit the size of my backlog, and so I chose to not buy anything new, which is like crazy, right? So I'm not sure if that's something I should be proud of or not, but yeah. The backlog did not grow yesterday, even though it had an opportunity to. Yeah, I've found that to be a problem as well, right? Those smaller shops that don't sell a lot of kits in bulk. I understand why, but it's sad that they have to increase the prices by so much to make a profit. Because I'm sure they're like they're not buying them first party straight from Bandai or Bluefin or whoever the distributor is, right? They're probably getting them through some other third party service, and so they have to mark it up from whatever they have to pay. And I say that's unfortunate because like with my local shop, that's like the only, yeah, really one of only 2 local shops that I know of that even carry Gunpla kits at all that are local to me. Like there's bigger ones that I have to drive more than an hour to get to. But I want to try to support those local shops. Like I would like to just, you know, it feels good to support a local shop and to encourage them to stock more. But at the same time, if they've marked up the prices so much, then I really don't want to buy a kit that I know I can buy for, you know, like $20 or $30 less somewhere else. So that was interesting. Something for me to think about. Note for my future self. The new chat over there on screen was not updating. It paused for a second. It was not updating in real time with the messages you were posting until I clicked on another window here on my machine and woke it up. So that is something for me to troubleshoot later. And I think I already know what the cause of that is anyway, so it's all good. Your local shops never have what you need. Well, see, one thing about local shops is, at least for me, if you get to know whoever the person is there that places the orders, and you become friends with that person, then sometimes you can influence what they order, or at the very least, you can, like, they can let you know when something comes in that is something you're interested in. Like if you've talked to them about it, you can be like, hey, you know, if you ever see this, tell me. And then you get first dibs at it before somebody else comes and buys it off the shelf. So yeah, if you have a local hobby shop, get to know the owner or the people that work there, if you can. Hey, how's it going? All right, I think the time has come. I think I have enough parts to actually build something here. So let's get zoomed back in here and then try to this thing slides vertically. Do they want this slid up or down right now? I guess it doesn't matter too much yet. Yeah, for me, my favorite sort of local store, it's close enough to probably call it local. It takes me about just under an hour to get there. They actually do a really good job of whoever sets the pricing there. They do a good job of trying to be competitive with online prices, and they're often really close. So I do try to frequent that shop as much as possible. It's interesting, I've never actually asked them about it, but they are they're fairly large, and they are a camera shop as well as a hobby shop. And so I wonder if having kind of that diversified business helps them, like they don't have to make as much of a profit margin probably on their Gunpla kits because they sell so many other things as well. So maybe that helps them to be able to not have to mark the prices up quite so much. There's either a little hair or plastic shaving that's made its way. Yeah, that's a hair. It looks like one of my cat's hairs, but my cat never comes out here to my studio, so I'm not sure how that happened. Oh, there is a little notch in this. This part looks like it's the same both front and back, but there's actually a specific orientation. I almost didn't notice. Yeah, for me, I'm actually really fortunate as well that there is one of the really big online retailers here in the US that I'm sure you would have heard of if I said their name, is actually located, their warehouse is located about an hour and a half from me. And so every once in a while, I place an order there and then just message them and say, hey, don't ship it, I'll come pick it up. So you can save on shipping that way as well and get the good prices. Alright, so we've got these very unusual, these are like the front of the ankle armor kind of areas. And the foot must attach into here. And we've got a small pile of parts left, which I don't think I can use without first cutting out a few more. Last year was reprint rush, yeah. See, I have that problem too, right? As I've gotten back into the hobby. So I built Gunpla when I was much younger. Because, you know, I'm an old guy now. And then I took a long break from it. And I've just kind of gotten back into it in the last, I don't know, 5 years or so. And as I've gotten more, as I have more information now about like what kits are available or used to be available and aren't anymore and now are getting reprinted, I have a list, probably like you, of things that I missed that I would like to get. And so whenever something gets reprinted or when it comes out on P Bandai or whatever, I feel like I need to order it now because it might go away again for a long time and I might not have access to it, you know? And so that is there's a danger there that your backlog can grow more than you would like it to. Because you feel like you have to buy that reprint or you're gonna miss out. So one of my favorite Gundam designs, yeah, I would say pretty much across all series, is the Atlas Gundam from Thunderbolt. And first of all, I'm still annoyed that Bandai refuses to release a master grade of that mobile suit. Like, I want an Atlas Ver.Ka so badly, and every time they say there's a new Ver.Ka coming out, I hope that that's the announcement, and it never is. But the high grade version was also like out of print for a pretty long time. And so I managed to get one just in this recent reprint batch. And it's actually up on the display wall behind me at the moment, not painted or anything yet. But that's one of the few high grades that I've actually purchased and built recently, because I tend to build, you know, the larger scale kits. But that one I felt like I had to, just because I'm starting to lose hope that there will ever be a master grade Atlas, and I figured I should at least have the high grade since I like the design so much. All right, so I noticed when I was trimming the nubs here, there is one of these parts, this one here. I'm not sure that I'll be able to get the camera to focus and be able to show you guys this, but there is this little peg right here actually came off the runner, kind of bent, and you can see there's a white stress mark in the plastic because I tried to bend it back to straight, but that's almost certainly going to come off. Maybe not when I snap this, but when I go to take it apart in the future to paint everything. I don't think it's going to matter too much, but I'm actually quite surprised because usually I don't ever see any defects in parts when they come off the runners, you know, from Bandai kits. So yeah, one little mistake or error there, and I don't think it was a problem with the mold or anything like that. I think it was somewhere in the box during transport it must have got squished a little bit and it bent that peg off to the side. Yeah, we could do warm water to bend that one back, but like I said, it's actually not. It's straight again. It's back to good. It's just weakened. You can tell the plastic is weakened a bit to the point that peg will probably fall off, but it's like I said, it's fine. If I go to disassemble this later to paint and that comes off, then I will either put a tiny brass rod in there to hold the part together when I reassemble, or I will just use a tiny dab of glue. Either way, it's fine. Alright, I'm trying to see down in here to see. There must be a specific orientation because this has a couple little notches in the back of this part that fits inside of this thruster, but I do not see, I can't see in there just because of the lighting here. I can't see which way to orient it. I suppose if I just press it in there and spin it, it will eventually, yeah, catch the right spot. That was interesting. I accidentally let the part go. It flew off camera that way, bounced off of a shelf, and came right back to me. I was lucky. Otherwise, the stream would have been paused while I climb around on the floor and look for a part. Alright, this goes in here, yeah, is that right? So this is going to slide up and down in this little track here, I guess. And then we need this, which goes here. Yeah, so that little thruster bell slides up and down. I assume this will be on the back of the leg. That is my current guess, at least. Hey, we get the yellow runner for the first time today. We need 23s off of here. I haven't mentioned today how much I like the colors of the plastic that they chose for this kit. None of them seem to me, and I haven't gotten other plastic out to compare directly, but none of them seem like the standard, like the red, the yellow, the blue. They're not all three are not the standard red, yellow, and blue that I tend to see on Bandai kits. The blue is like more of a royal blue, and I really like the blue a lot. And then the red and the yellow are just a touch darker shades, I think, than what I'm used to seeing. I keep trying to grab the runner with the blue parts as we work here on the leg, because I guess in my mind we should have had some blue already on these legs. Maybe I'm not remembering the pictures from the box art well enough to, like, I figured the sides and back area of the outer armor of this leg, which is what I'm grabbing parts for right now, would have some blue in them, but they don't yet. So I just realized as I was trimming this nub here that's on the kind of the point of this black part, as I looked at it, I double checked to make sure that it was not undergated, because that seemed like a spot that might want to be undergated. And I realized as I was looking at that I do not believe there has been any undergating at all yet on this kit, which is a little surprising. But all of the gates have been placed in good spots so that they don't really leave unsightly marks in any really obvious places. So I guess if you're going to do that, you don't need to add undergates. All right, back to these. Let's move some of this stuff out of the way. that attaches in there. This must go like that. Oh, I see, and that slides in there. And then this fits over the top of the whole thing. Yeah, that seems right. So now this black part slides up and down. And then as we already saw, the thruster part here, which is actually now attached to this white flap, can move in and out. And I believe that this configuration here with the thruster all the way in and this black part all the way out like this is what we need for now when we go to assemble these things later on. So I'm going to leave it like that. Alright, so both of those look good. We have all these subcomponents that have been built now, and I imagine that sometime fairly soon, yeah, like right now, the instructions are going to have us finally put some of these things together to build the legs. So here is the ankle area. And then before we sandwich the other half of this together like so, we have to get this little back part attached in there, right? I see, like that. Except upside down. So let's put it that way. That makes a lot more sense. Yeah, cool. It's going to be a little bit fiddly actually to line these up and get them to fit together without this little back flap part falling out. Here we go. Oh, I see. This black part must actually come out when it's in transformed mode, and it stays down out of the way because otherwise it would be running into this bit on the back of the leg here. Yeah. And that actually snaps into place, so that's great. And then what, we put the foot on? There it goes. Interesting ankle motion. This whole thing kind of folds this way, which makes that front ankle armor also move in conjunction with the ankle going forward. That's good, I guess. It keeps it out of the way of the foot. Alright, so there's one leg, mostly complete. I haven't looked recently to make sure that we're still building both legs the same, and we are. So that's good. That way we can just do the same thing here. Alright, so 2 legs so far. Do we have more time? Yeah, I have more time. Let's keep going. Alright, now is officially the moment where the instructions are separating out the idea of the right leg from the left leg. So I'll set one of these to the side and we'll just work on one for the moment. I guess we do need these 2 big parts here for the sides and legs. If I look far enough down the instructions. Oh, and then we might actually get to use some of the blue parts, right? Because now I'm remembering The legs are mostly white, but they have that like blue angled trim around the sides. Yeah. Alright, I remember how the legs work now, color-wise. So yeah, like as soon as I turn the page, I can go ahead and grab this as well, I suppose. As soon as I turn the page, I think then I get those blue parts that I was thinking about earlier. These are probably the front of the knee, right? But I can't see those on the instructions yet, so I won't get them. I'm sure they're on the next page. Probably time to ever so carefully resharpen these nippers. I've done that once before during the time that I've owned them, and it helped a lot. I think I've had these nippers now for these god hands for, hey, here's an undergated area, since we were talking about that earlier. Yeah, so these god hands, I think I've had them for at least 4 years, maybe 5 years now. It's been a while. And they've been great, but they do dull slightly over time, and so a couple years ago I sharpened them. And it feels like it's almost time to do that again. Hey, Destruct, welcome. Yes, this is the Master Grade Zeta Ver.Ka. And it's been a really good build so far. I have never built one of the older Master Grade Zetas, so I cannot compare. But my guess is that, you know, just because of how old those are compared to this one, that the engineering and the fit and how everything works with the transformation especially is going to be much improved over those older versions of the Zeta. There are no good Zeta kits. The real grade's not good, that is for sure. I've built that one, and that is my only other experience with any grade of Zeta, so I don't have enough real world experience with actual kits to argue one way or the other. I like this one so far though, it's been good. I haven't tried to transform it, obviously. I've just built it as the instructions have asked me to, so maybe I'll think differently at the end, but it feels really solid, so. Hey, thanks for the follow. We got to hear the new sound effect, which comes from Gundam Age, in case you were wondering. Yeah, that's the new follow sound effect. You guys are accidentally testing out all the new things today, so thanks, good job. New chat still looks okay. It hasn't broken. It paused for a moment a while ago, but I think I know the solution for that. It still looks okay, so that's great. All right, so what are we doing here? This hip joint fits in like this. Yeah, so when we built the waist unit last time, I noted that there were no side skirts attached to the waist unit itself. This little ball joint here is almost certainly where a side skirt attaches later on. So it's actually attached to the top of the leg. The mode change will have me questioning life. Okay, cool. I'm looking forward to that then, or something. All right, I should have put, before I pressed this one all the way back, I should have put these side bits on first, because this actually fits over the top of them. The instructions didn't tell me that, quite surprisingly. You know, usually they have like numbers, 1, 2, to let you know what order to put parts on. They didn't do that this time. All right, there we go. That's a nice knee bend. Usually we get like some action on the front of the knee, but we get this little ratcheting action on the back of the knee this time. So I was just thinking regarding versions of the Zeta, because you're right, with some of those older iterations of the Zeta, they've made multiple versions. Do we think that there will be, like, I guess they would probably be Pete Bandai version, you know, alternate versions of Zeta based off of this kit? I'm trying to think. I don't recall them ever doing a P Bandai release that's based off of a Ver.Ka master grade. So if Bandai chose to do that, I think it might be the first time that we've gotten a P Bandai variant of something that was a Ver.Ka before. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe unicorns have? Maybe that's happened with some unicorns. Death Scythe Hell, yeah, but the original Master Grade Death Scythe is not officially like a Ver.Ka. It wasn't marketed that way. It doesn't have, you know, the white box art and the official like Ver.Ka on the name of it, right? Unless there's one that I'm not thinking of. Yeah, I know he did the redesign. Am I ever getting that part back off of there? Yeah, I probably am. Okay. The Master Grade Ball of Ver.Ka is so good. I don't think it's even on my display shelf because I built it so long ago. It must be in a box in my closet somewhere or something. Hey, we finally get a blue part. I've been waiting all day to pull this blue runner out of the box. So I can talk about what a great shade of blue this is. This is like my favorite blue plastic I think that I've ever seen in any Gunpla kit. Not that it matters, I will end up painting over it anyway. But it is a very nice shade of blue. Right up there at the top of this blue part, there was a weird little fit issue. It was probably just my fault. But that didn't slide right into that little groove perfectly the first time, which is a little surprising. Again, probably my fault. Fortunately, I didn't break it trying to force it into place there. So this fits in here. Wow, that whole yellow part is gonna be just for a little detail here on the front and a matching one on the back, I think. We'll see here because we're gonna cover this up. Yeah, it's just for these two triangles, right? I'll press this in place and then show you. Yeah, so one little yellow triangle there and one there. But I mean, hey, I'm thankful for that they weren't lazy and tried to give us yellow stickers. Not broken, battle damaged. Yeah. It would have been, that little peg, if it was broken, would have been hidden anyway up behind this white part, but I tend to not ever build battle damaged kits, so I need to be more careful than most, I would imagine. Factory fresh, super clean is usually the style of my builds. Yes, this is true. Yeah, I wasn't happy when this kit was announced either. But, you know, I ended up getting it, so the problem is, like, there just haven't been enough master grades lately. So every time there's one, even if it's not a design that I really care about or would like to build, I still get it. Because there just aren't enough of them. Maybe that's part of Bandai's master plan, to trick us into buying kits that we really don't want. So the Master Grade SD, here's the thing about that. I built that. It's actually back on the display wall behind me. I really like that kit. I didn't think I did when they announced it. And I'm not crazy about the Barbatos. I would have liked pretty much anything else as a second kit in that line besides what they chose. But yeah, that first one, it was a really fun build, and it's super posable. It looks nice up on the shelf. I don't have a problem with it at all. I actually quite like it a lot. I should get that one down and paint it someday. I think I do have water slides. I bought water slides for it at one point. So they're somewhere in my stash. So yeah, I should definitely revisit that and paint it and put water slides on it at some point. The little, yeah. I'm sure that its inner frame will be nice, right? Because that mobile suit design lends itself well to having a inner frame with cool, like, pistons and hoses and such. I'm just not a fan of the Barbatos in general, I guess. This is not clicked in all the way. There we go. All right, so the big question is, do I have enough time to do the other leg and finish it, given that we've just finished this one? I think the answer is yes. So I'll give it a shot. Especially given that now I can just go through here and grab literally all the parts that I need, I think, all at once here, because I know what they are. Yeah, so I'm not excited about that Master Grade SD Barbatos. I am, however, excited about the Real Grade Epion. which is starting to appear some places, I think, in stock. So that might be one that I have to like break my rule about not growing my backlog right now while I'm trying to get rid of my backlog. I might actually have to buy that one. You saw one on stream? Yeah. Like I said, I think some people are starting to get it. I don't know if in the United States people are starting to get it. Paused backlog. Well, see, the problem is, and the reason for these streams is that a couple months ago I was cleaning up my studio area here, and I realized that my backlog no longer fits on the shelf that I have, that is, you know, there for the purpose of holding my backlog. And so the plan is to build the backlog until everything fits back on the shelf again, and try to not buy too many more kits while I'm doing that. So I don't think I will be able to do that, but that is the goal. And so all of these build streams, which will continue here on Twitch and probably on YouTube as well, for the next little while here, are just me building through the backlog. Yeah, see, I used to feel that way as well. Like if a kit comes out or if it gets reprinted and I don't buy it, I'll miss out. But I've decided now, if you wait long enough, even for P-Bandai kits, if you wait long enough, they will come back around. And so, yeah. So I'm okay with missing out on a kit. Because if I really do want it, I believe that I will be able to find it again at some point in the future. I mean, see, yeah, that is correct. So like, P-Bandai recently re-released the Gundam Mark V, and that's a really crazy design that I've always wanted to have, and I missed it the first time around, maybe the first 2 times. I don't remember if this is the second or third reprint. Anyway, I did order one of those because it's not coming until sometime next year, right? So that doesn't count. By then, maybe there will be space on the shelf for that to have a place to be. Yes. Always find a loophole. I think I might actually have a few other P-Bandai orders as well that haven't come in yet. Like, that's the thing, right? It's such a long delay now between when a kit gets released on P-Bandai and when you actually have it in hand. I actually forget that I ordered things. I don't know if that happens to anybody else, but like, I'll get something, I'll get the ship notification in my email. It doesn't just show up and surprise me because I see the email, but I'll get an email from P-Bandai and be like, we shipped your thing, and I'm like, oh yeah, I totally forgot that I ordered that thing because it was like 6 months ago. 2 real grade high news and 2 master grade Barbies. Oh, yeah, you forgot you pre-ordered and then you buy one and then the pre-order shows up. I don't think I've ever done that yet, but like you could just sell the extra one, right? Well, I guess you could sell it, or you can like keep it and then okay, that makes sense. I was also going to say you could keep it and then you could like find either a local or online, like one of those like Secret Santa gift exchange things or something like that, and gift it to somebody as part of one of those kinds of things. Yeah, you're right. Those are both really good kits. I agree. You'll trade the backlog, but never resell. So I'm curious why that is. Is it just like a psychological thing? Like you'd rather get something in exchange for a kit in your backlog? Get an actual kit instead of just get your money back? I guess that kind of makes sense. So where I live, there are no build nights that I have found near me, sadly. All right, now is the moment where we find out whether I, without looking at the instructions, went through and grabbed all of the parts that I needed for this leg. I'm fairly confident that I did. I was just going from memory, having just built the other leg and trying to remember which parts we need. Also, now I know to put these 2 bits on the sides before the part that snaps on from the front. All right, what do we need? We need this. You buy clear expo kits? Yeah, see, that's true. If I was thinking about trading a kit, I might buy, but I don't think I would ever buy a clear kit for myself, because I just wouldn't ever want to build or display a clear kit. But yeah, I get that because of the rarity of them, it might make sense to get them for the purposes of trading. That's backwards. Let's flip this over the correct way. 1 clear for two regular master grades? Yeah, I mean, I guess it all depends on the person you're trading with and what they're looking for, right? But I could see where that would definitely be a reasonable trade for a lot of people. Because otherwise, what, they're buying them on eBay or something for hugely inflated prices. Oh, I forgot to put this part up here. There. Yeah, so I think I did it. I think I got all the parts I need because these are all that's left. Right. All right, so 2 legs. Yeah, I should probably start one. That's the solution, right? If there's no build night near you, start one. There is I discovered recently a local comic book shop that sells some Gunpla kits at hugely marked up prices, of course, but I should stop by there sometime and find out who else buys kits from them so that I could find other people around near me that like to build, and then maybe try to start a build night or something with them. All right, so this is a weird place to stop. Like, it feels slightly incomplete because these are missing the side skirts before we can put them on. I mean, I suppose, yeah, let's put his legs on backwards. That would be smart. His feet are pointing toward the back. Those side skirts just snap in with ball joints, so we can put them on later because I don't have time now to continue as much as I would like to finish those side skirts today. Very long legs. Walk in with HG Jindrobi with an SD kit. All right, so I'd forgotten how long-legged the proportions of Zeta of this Zeta Gundam are. Let's fix the knees. Yeah, this has those weird double-jointed knees, doesn't it? So that's going to be one of the things that drives me nuts when I try to transform it, right? Is how the knees bend. I'm ready. I'm preparing myself for that moment. Yeah, Katoki definitely goes for those longer-legged proportions. This guy in general is just very tall and thin. Like, even the head and the shoulders, they're more vertical than horizontal, which is, I think, different from a lot of other Gundam designs. So, there he is for now. And this is where we're going to have to leave this guy for today. But like, looking at the rest, maybe next build session, which should be Thursday, Maybe we're finishing the entire rest of the thing, right? Because those wing units are not too complicated, and then there's just the weapons loadout, which is quite simple. And then we'll spend 5 hours trying to transform it, probably. That'll be fun. Yeah, you're right. Everything else is just big parts that are snapping together, it looks like. I was actually expecting more intricate inner frame mechanics on the legs than what we got. Like, the inside of the torso was really strange on this kit. So I was expecting more with the legs, but even like the lower half of the legs was just those one big part for the inner frame bit. So that was a little surprising. All right, yeah, so that will end the session for today. Have a good Tuesday, everyone. It's still Tuesday, right? Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna go get lunch because I am actually really, really hungry. I did not have breakfast today. Should reminder to self, on days that I'm going to stream until lunchtime, definitely have something for breakfast. So yeah, I'm gonna go grab lunch. I hope you guys have a good one, and I will see you next time.